early.
We officially
We
live,
are
man.
we are
Early.
here.
Episode 63.
63. We're live.
Yes, sir.
Another great Friday.
Sure
You know
is.
what I'm saying? We got a special guest, Ish Millie, tapping in with
Got
us
ish.
a little
Yes,
later.
sir.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm excited about that. I feel like there's a lot of dope things happening in crypto right now.
For sure, man. Ape
Definitely,
coin. Oh,
yeah,
man.
exactly.
Dropping.
You know what
Oh,
I'm saying?
shit.
I think that's the biggest
Shit
thing
is
right now.
crazy.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what he's got to say about all things happening, and then that included.
For sure,
But
But we also in the throes of March Madness.
we're
and
the
whatnot,
throes
right?
of March
Right,
Madness
yeah,
right
yeah,
now,
you
dog. The
know.
madness has begun, bro.
It has.
Fucking Iowa lost yesterday to a team that they were not supposed to lose to. I think I want to see what they were actually
Yeah, and get me hip.
seeded
Like
as.
I'm not too aware at all to who the
Yeah.
favorites are, what
Yeah,
brackets
so,
got busted. I do
bro.
know 1%, like 1.4% of
Yeah,
all brackets
are
still
left.
intact, like
Yeah.
700 out of a 1.4 million. So
yeah, I
yeah,
seen a
man.
joint on ESPN that was like there's like 700 left out of 17 million. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Okay,
so
17.
like,
Okay, I got that. I got that number wrong. I
One,
probably
you
thought
said
it was 1.7.
yeah, but
No,
you probably just
17.
maybe saw a decimal or
Yeah,
something.
that's
But
crazy.
right here, 15th seed St. Peter's beat second
St. Peter's,
Kentucky. You know what I'm
Who
saying?
the fuck?
Um,
Shout out to them boys.
Yeah, shout out to, because like I feel like over the last couple years, it's definitely been like askew since like COVID and stuff like that. But the last few tournaments, there haven't been like early round like crazy upsets. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, word.
But we had two yesterday, and that was
Any
just the first day.
parlays? So like,
yesterday,
I'm
yeah,
interested.
yeah.
Like in March Madness, are you like parlay city,
So,
or does it not
yeah, I
change?
haven't
It's just
even-
there's a lot more options to choose
For
from.
me, I haven't even. I've been doing. Yesterday I did two parlays and one hit. You know what I'm saying? So that was good. The other one I missed by like 2 games. So I had a joint that was like Murray State, Georgia State to cover, not lose by more than 22 points. You know what I'm saying? They lost by 21, so that was good. You know what I'm saying? And they were actually about to stun Gonzaga. Like it was tied going into halftime.
I do know that.
It was tied going to halftime, and everybody was like, "If Gonzaga loses this fucking game," you know what I'm saying? But I had on my bet for them to cover, so like I was happy with that. You know what I'm saying? If they win or if they don't lose by more than 21 points or 22 points, that shit it's covers for me. So that one hit. But there's some joints I like for today as well. You know what I'm saying? If anybody's, if anybody's looking at their, you know what I'm saying, bets to place for today, I love Loyola. You know what I'm saying? They're playing against Ohio State, and Ohio State's all right, but Loyola has been good all year, so I feel like they could win that one. And then Texas Tech has been nice. I like them. They're favored by 15 against what's that say? Jacksonville? No, that says Montana State. Texas Tech is tough. Like they're tough. I could see them going to like the Final Four. You know what I'm saying? Like they've been nice all year. They beat like pretty great teams. You know what I'm saying? They've been consistently nice all year. I like them. And Notre Dame, I think, can beat Alabama. That's kind of my upset alert.
You know what's crazy?
Yeah, go ahead.
Just having you, because I'm really on some disconnected shit from college sports, as you say, and I'm like, damn, when did this happen? And I'm like, it's actually been a long time, but I won't lie, it was really, I guess, that Zion and Ja Morant year. Like,
what year?
It was when Zion and Ja was still in the collegiate
Zion,
ranks.
I know when he into Duke, right? No, did he come out of high school? Oh no, he did go to Duke. Yeah.
And then where's
Zion?
was at
Where'd
Murray
Ja
State.
go?
Is that Murray State?
Murray State. Oh
yeah, teams in high school. Like
yeah.
those are boys and shit. But like because I guess
they played high school together.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
I guess like when it always comes to collegiate shit, I guess I'm always on some where the fuck is the star?
Where the stars?
Power. I can't watch this game without seeing who the baller. And I'm sure there is.
I'm about to say there's some niggas out there balling.
I
just don't even be knowing. You know what I'm saying? Like I kind of know how teams perform, but I don't necessarily know who's the star players. You know what I'm saying? There's Chet Holmgren for Gonzaga. I'm sure you heard about him. Tall white cuz. You never heard of Chet Holmgren? He's all over SportsCenter.
I've heard of him. Yeah. Like the big fundamentalist nigga.
Yeah. But he's also got he's tall. He's like 7'6".
Word.
Okay. You know what I'm saying? And he's a freshman, so I think he's gonna come out this year. And then old boy that plays for Duke, I think his name's Paolo or something like that. Paulo Banchero or something, I think his name is. But those are the two stars as far as popular wise. But there's there's some dudes who, you know what I'm saying, put up a lot of points that I've only heard of yesterday when I was in the Twitter spaces, and like motherfuckers were calling people by name, and I'm just like, oh, like y'all know these kids, like, you know what I'm saying, like I don't really be knowing these kids. I just be knowing like who's doing what. But yeah, those are the games that I like for today, and yeah, it's been a pretty entertaining March Madness so far. So we hope that, you know what I'm saying, that continues. Going to the NBA side of things, like speaking of niggas balling, bro, like it's been a crazy month of basketball thus far in March, bro.
For sure.
You got niggas going for like 60 points every night on every team. You know what I'm saying? Karl Anthony Towns goes for 60.
Yeah, that boy stepping up.
Kyrie Irving goes for 60.
That boy stepping up. Yeah, Kyrie is more so. Cat? Yeah, Kyrie. I mean, it's not too much of a surprise.
It's not a surprise.
I know he's capable. Like, and it's great to see. But I know he's capable of that. Yeah. For real. For like Kyrie is, bro. That's a gifted dude with the basketball for sure. When it comes to Cat, though, I'm like, oh, bro, you at that time, because he makes you kind of like turn your head and be like, yo, what y'all got going over there? Because teams might need to make a play for that guy. Like, you need that guy.
You think he's even on the like available? Yeah, what I'm saying? Like, you think he's available?
If you're a team outside looking in, and that's like a position you need available.
You go get
fuck those words. Is he available now? So what do you want? Like, I'll give you this.
Let's talk. Let's open up talks.
100%, because now they starting to have a little like sliver of hope over there.
Over in Minnesota.
Just in terms of it's still a long road, but you can still see like, if we build around this. So
let's see where they are.
I think they're right in the throes. They better than us. They're in the picture. They're in the picture for sure.
Yeah, they're at 7.
Yeah,
so
man.
They're leading the play-in right now. But the Lakers are at 9.
This guy's fucking his step back threes, crossing niggas up. I'm like, yo, bro, this is different. I'm like, we have AD.
Yeah,
I'm like, yo, my nigga, like, yo, bro, I've never even this shit really crazy. It's just really crazy, but I digress.
Yeah. Speaking of the play-in tournament, you know what I'm saying? We're coming up on that. I did not know Memphis
29 and 40.
I did not know Memphis was second in the West.
The Lakers is 29 and 40, dog.
That's ugly. Are they not playing 82 games this year? Bro. Or are they playing 82 games? Do you know?
I think it's 82. They didn't change it here. I think that was just the NFL.
But I do think it is over. Last year it was like less games
because
I know they started late.
Yeah, exactly. No, but they didn't start late this time. Okay. But yeah, man, that's just ugly. I mean, they subtly did change the shit. I mean, this playing game, my nigga, this is new.
No, 100%, 100%.
I'm not necessarily mad at it, but
that started like during the bubble season, right? Yeah, and they just kept it.
Yeah, because it was a matter of people couldn't even catch their flights over to play certain games. So like, we gotta just like level it out. That's what we can.
New Orleans over there sitting at 10. You know what I'm saying? And then the Spurs are kind of like, they're 11. They could swap spots with New Orleans, but so if the Lakers. So it'll be the Lakers and the Clippers. I don't think the Lakers beat the Clippers in the 7 games.
Just throw a
Oh wait, do they do? How does the play-in tournament work? Is it multiple games or is it just one game?
No, just one game. One game to get you into the seat.
Okay.
Who you guys MVP?
MVP. Right now it seems like the favorite is Jokic. That's what it seems like the favorite is. If you ask me who I got, I would like to see Ja Morant win MVP. Honestly,
word.
I'm looking right now. Memphis is second in the West. I did not know that until just now. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like really they're second, bro. Like, and he's having a remarkable season. I feel like he doesn't get it. You know what I'm saying? Because like there's Giannis, there's Embiid, there's Jokic.
Yeah,
like,
I think it's gonna be. I think Jokic's winning it. I think Embiid, if he doesn't win it, I think Embiid would.
Yeah, I think that too.
I think DeMar and Ja did have chances, but
DeMar,
they had chances and they ended, in contention. But the closer it gets to it, it's really about like how much you can hold them headlines, what the highlights you're doing. Like it's the timing of how you ball it out. Yeah. Obviously, your overall season averages are gonna be crazy.
DeMar had his month, but his month was like a little month early. He should be doing that now.
Yeah,
he should be doing that now.
Exactly. And then Ja's like, if he
Ja had like I feel like Ja
ends out these games with some highlights and some bangs and all that. You know what I'm saying? It could change.
Bro, did you see that shit when the nigga caught the alley-oop from the inbound pass?
Yeah.
Shot a 3 at the buzzer. That was different, bro.
He's different, bro.
I've never seen anything like that. Like forget the dunks, forget this nigga's head touching the rim and shit like that. I've never seen anything like a inbound oop 3. Like that was so stupid.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
He's a stupid individual.
And I'm just like, that's like indicative of an MVP type season. If you have everything go your way, that's like a this nigga has everything going his way type of move.
AI
you know what I'm saying?
and Russell Westbrook kind of together. That's really what we see right now. Them games put together. That's dead.
I see the Derrick Rose comparison a lot.
And
though.
the jumpies, like the jump.
Yeah,
but that's why I say the Westbrook too, because I'd be like, at that era, it's like Rose set it off. I'll give it to.
Yeah.
Then Westbrook had his follow up. Like as soon as he got hit, Westbrook's like, "Bet."
Yeah. I'm the most explosive point guard now.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
You know? But yo, I wanted to before we get down to this rabbit hole of sports or whatnot, I just wanted to definitely mention something that happened yesterday. Just get your thoughts on it. Devontae Adams.
Oh, that is a humongous play. And we were literally just talking about how like he stays now that Aaron's there. You know what I'm saying? And then
so I know Aaron's like, what the fuck? Not for real, because who's next? Like they were harping on that discrepancy from
But doesn't that free up some bread that they could have to like maybe go get a little bit of a cheaper but still
but
wide receiver?
They could have franchise tagged him and kept him this year, then made it something that they would really have to address next year. They could have did it like that, so he could have been on the team.
Yeah,
I'm just more so off some. It's gonna be interesting because you're right. You probably do free up some cap, but I think it's like future bread.
Yeah,
it's not like now. It's like you just gave Rodgers that shit. It's kind of like it's still tight.
Yeah.
So
and he signed what, a 2-year deal or a 4-year deal?
I think it was 4.
Rodgers.
I think it was 4. But I'm interested to see that because that was his guy. That was his guy. And Devontae Adams is considered by a lot of people, the number one best receiver, receiver in the league, and that's arguable for sure.
But what I say to that is like
the Raiders.
It's
big for them. It's big for them.
The Raiders. That is a huge weapon for an already looking good Derek Carr,
and especially for the year they had last year, bro.
What's his name? Winslow, Waller, Darren Waller. You know what I'm saying? Like
it was a whirlwind of a year last year for them.
Well, Darren Waller, Josh Jacobs. They got they had another. Not like great wide receiver, but they got Hunter Renfro.
Yeah, you gave me hip to these names. Like
some of these. I mean, Josh Jacobs. I think he went to Alabama, but he's been in the league for a little minute.
Now they got hopefully who they got in position right now for their coach is a long-term play because that John Gruden shit happening.
Who finished the season for them?
No, I can't recall, but I'm just that Gruden shit happening in the middle of your season. That shit's not the most conducive. And then boom, you having your player. The DUI that went OD, that was it's kind of like they kind of had a little turbulent ass year, and
but still made the playoffs. And they were not really expected.
So to your point, it's kind of like, somebody get up in here and put this shit together. Like we got something.
Do you think that's like
too far away?
You think Devontae Adams makes that team like dare I say Super Bowl contender?
Or I don't know.
Conference title contender.
I gotta see how the defense showing up. So I don't know about that.
Oh, their defense was actually stout last year.
But
it was stout last year.
It's more so just the division that they're in. So you made the right play.
Yeah,
you definitely got better.
Yeah,
but it's more so it's like you win a division with killers. So gotta keep it going.
Who else is in that division? Is that the Chiefs joint with the Broncos and the Chargers?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's vicious. So no, they made.
We were just talking about
so
this
it's like
week,
you clap it up. It's like, hey, y'all made progress.
Yeah.
Good shit. You're not there yet, but good shit. This is what you're supposed to do.
That's a huge play.
Yeah, man.
The Chargers, I think they just got Von Miller.
Yep.
They got JC Jackson.
Yeah, man.
So their defense is going to be stout. On top of that, already, very tough offense that they had this year.
Appreciate all y'all tuning into the IG too, man.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, man. I see my guy.
Anybody want to shout out on there?
No. Shout out my guy Biggs. Program time. Yeah, you know the vibes, man. But we got my guy Ish in the waiting room.
Yes, we got him. We got to take this little commercial break, and then we're gonna come back.
Sir.
Ish Millie.
Yes, sir.
Make sure my vocals right. Make sure the beat right. Welcome to the 5th show.
Time to cuff.
Powered by ItsNation TV.
My God! Oh, no!
ItsNation TV.
That's why I try to get in line. Play, execute, have fun, dub.
I can do a lot more than what I think I can.
What's goody, everybody? This is Brooke Facile, and you are now tuned into Early, the morning podcast, where we talk about a multitude of different topics, where you're bound to hear something that's of interest to you as well. So if you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to ItsNation TV. If you're catching this on Facebook, go ahead and go ahead and comment, engage with us, and you can go ahead and follow me at Brooke Facile, and you can follow my Brody Mac at ItsNation.com.
Y'all know I make a lot of podcasts, and every podcast needs a website. Literally, I've tried to put all of my podcasts on one website, ItsNation TV, but I've definitely gotten to a point where I've realized that in order for each podcast to grow individually on its own, each podcast needs its own website. And the easiest way to make a website for your podcast is on podpage.com. Like, literally, it's the easiest way to make a website for your podcast. Like, dog, I'll do it right now. Like, literally. All you got to do is go to podpage.com. You know what I'm saying? If you got your podcast on Apple Podcasts, you literally type the name of your podcast in. You know what I'm saying? You type in the email for your account, and boom, it literally, dog, I don't know how it does it. It's magic. It literally pulls up a bunch of different website templates from your podcast. And that's not even the crazy part. What's crazy is all of this is free. They got different tiers. They got a pro tier, they got a basic tier, then they got the free tier. You know what I'm saying? The pro tier is definitely the way to go if you're taking your podcast seriously. But like with all of the tools that podpage.com gives you, it's well worth the bread, like well worth the bread that it is. Check the link in the description to get started with podpage.com. It's literally going to be the best thing you've done for your podcast. Yo, and we are back.
You got Ish in the house?
You got Ish ready to go. Let's bring him up.
What up, though?
Make sure we can hear him.
Can you hear me?
It's on your end, bro?
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
It's a little low, but let me hold on real quick.
Yeah, can you hear us?
Top of the top, my brothers. What's going on?
All right,
well,
how are you?
Well, bro.
Yeah, appreciate you
I'm
joining.
in Los Angeles,
Hey,
California. Real mad early for me. It's about 5:35 in the morning, but you know, I'm
Right. That's what I was about to say. Like, appreciate you, dog, tuning in from LA. For those that don't know, you know what I'm saying. So I know it's a little early on your end, but I know hustler's always up. And that's what I know you want to get into that. Let them people know, who we got on the show today and what you've been on. Just want to give a little context. You know what I'm saying. I met Ish Millie basically through the IG. You know what I'm saying, because we actually share these mutual spaces and communities via way of NFTs and these crypto communities, you know what I'm saying? But without further ado, I definitely want Ish to just get into, like, you know what I'm saying, who you are type.
Yeah, man, top of the top, man. Nice to be here. Like, crypto don't sleep, so I'm always up.
Hey, Brody, is there any way you could talk into your mic a little closer, or could you like?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
You can hear me? Okay, good. My bad, bro. I could have.
No, you're good.
You good?
All right, bet. So yeah, man. I was saying, 5:35 in the morning. I'm always up like iced tea. Tracking my crypto, my investments, and all that. But yeah, man, I'm a blockchain guy, man. I've been in blockchain since 2017. My background was in influencer marketing. I've worked with a lot of really, really famous, dope people, and always did something in the capacity of the blockchain with them. People like the late, great Nipsey Hussle. I worked with Floyd Mayweather, DJ Khaled, and recently just became kind of like an NFT addict. And I'm loving it, man. Like, we just got that ApeCoin airdrop. I own
we definitely gonna get into that. We definitely gonna get into that.
So yeah, man, I've just been, I've been that someone who's been all in, like all money in with the NFT wave. And
when did NFTs, when would you say they kind of came across your radar? Because I think it's coming across people's radars now and in the last couple of years heavy, but to my understanding, it's been around since 2014, 2013. When did it kind of come across your radar?
I heard about the concept when they, what was that stuff with the cats? What was it?
The Crypto Kitties.
Crypto Kitties.
Crypto Kitties, yeah.
Yeah.
So, to me, it was on nerd talk. Like, I was like, what is this? Like, I just judged it from a surface level in terms of like the art, and it didn't resonate with me. It didn't speak with me. I didn't understand what utility was, and that must have been like back in 2017, right? I never heard about the crypto punks. I wish I did. And I basically just really got into NFTs because of Clubhouse. What I noticed a trend where a lot of people are changing their profile pictures to monkeys and cats and dogs and rooms, and people were just having conversations about NFTs and NFTs and NFTs, and kind of like subconsciously forced me to listen. And being the curious person that I am, I wanted to understand why these things were rising in value. And I remember I did a room on Clubhouse called "Convince Me to Buy a Bored Ape," and that was the title of the room. Yeah. And I was actually being sarcastic.
Yeah, sarcastic.
And you know what I'm saying? Like, so these guys came on there and started like really, really pouring their heart out, telling me, yo, when I bought the ape, it looked like me. When I bought the ape, I felt like I was part of a brotherhood. And so it forced me to start to like look at it from a different angle. Like, you know what? This stuff really means something to these people. Maybe I can buy one and sell it to people like this. Because, being a businessman. And so I decided to just, start tracking it. And every day the stuff kept rising in value. When I first started looking at them, it was about 2 weeks after the mints, or maybe a couple of days after. And it went from 1,000 to 2,000, 3,000. So I finally came in at about $6,000 and bought my first ape. And then I went on Twitter, which I had no presence on, and posted, just bought a bored ape follow ape. I was just, following the trend. Today I had hundreds of people following me. So I was like, okay, if these people all own a bored ape and the price is $6,000, this is networking at its finest, right? I'm connecting with people who got, a little bit of paper, and I'm part of that community. So I kind of like fell in love with the ape at that point, changed my profile picture to it. It was just a flex. I got a $6,000 profile picture. And then I bought another one because the intention was I'll keep one and I'll sell one. And I got both of them till today.
There you go. I want to definitely take it a little, even kind of not even going back, but right in the midst of it, bro. Like, one thing that I see, one thing that you really be standing on, you try to make sure like a lot of this information isn't too technical for people. And like, one thing you try to be like, yo, if you have some type of intention, you want to get in here, you don't need to be a developer. You don't need to be somebody that has some type of Web3 background. And it seems like you're always trying to emphasize like the easiest bridge to getting into the spaces. Cause I also know you have your NFT masterclasses, and you also have like a lot of other like, consultancy as it pertains to like just dropping gems for people that want to be entrepreneurs. So what I'm touching at is, can you talk about more so how you go about generating actual passive income through these digital products, and then how the NFTs have started to make you be like, wow, now I can start offering education to a whole another sector type thing?
No, I'll keep it a buck. I've made millions from NFTs, and I'm very blessed to be in this situation, especially for someone who didn't have an NFT a year ago, right? I currently own about 2,500 NFTs. I've done my own drop. I've worked on 31 sold out projects as an advisor and investor in some capacity. And, I just noticed that the disconnect was just, it was a bunch of nerds that felt like gatekeepers. You know what I mean? It was like, if you weren't one of them, you weren't part of it. Was kind of like high schoolish. Yeah. So NFTs like really, really took off on Clubhouse, and then Twitter Spaces came around, and so a lot of people didn't have a voice. Like, they won't let you speak. You couldn't ask questions. It was just a bunch of guys just talking this gibberish amongst themselves. And I was like, man, I got to get to it, man. Like, me and Nipsey used to talk about the blockchain, and R.I.P. Nip. Nip always used to emphasize how important it was for people of color to be involved, right? That was his message about this. Like, this is going to liberate us. This is going to give us an opportunity to really leave that mantra, fuck the middleman, right? So, I guess, for me, that really resonated with me because I felt like, I have a cell phone, right? This is my cell phone. I don't even know how to use this stuff like to its full capacity. I definitely don't understand how this works. Right now, we're on StreamYard. I'm able to use the technology, but I don't understand the architecture of it.
Right.
So why focus on the architecture instead of the application? And so that's my mindset when it comes to like technology. I feel like this is not just a technology. This is also a booming emerging asset class. And if people felt like it was too complicated, if it wasn't digestible, then they wouldn't be interested in it. And I knew that was going to, not be the right approach. So I've always emphasized making it very digestible. So, we have a bunch of products. Like I have NFT Masterclass, which I now give away for free if you own a Rich Ape, which is an NFT project that that I launched. That there was a high demand for it because the way we packaged that was you buy the Masterclass, you get a free NFT. Some people bought it just because of the free NFT. And that NFT was a derivative of one of my Bored Apes. So, and, people liked it aesthetically. I collaborated with a lot of people in the space that I felt knew more than me. Some I felt like I knew more than them. I never looked at anyone as competition, bro. I always felt like it was collaboration over competition. And I was on a mission to kind of like onboard people in the space. And I'm still on that mission. Because it's done very well for me. And I feel like
100%.
Everyone is
100%. You got it.
Yeah, everyone can be in a position to make a lot of money with Web3. It's liberating, man.
Hell yeah,
for sure. And I kind of want to touch on Brooke was saying, you don't necessarily have to be a developer and everything like that. So you said you have a background in digital marketing, right?
In digital marketing, then I started doing influencer marketing specifically.
Okay, so how did the skills that you have before you encountered NFTs and blockchain and Web3 and everything like that, how did the skills that you had, whether it's from digital marketing or anything that you did prior, like how did that line up so well that you could find success in this space so quickly? Because you said, bro, you didn't own an NFT a year ago? Is that what you said?
Right.
Well, I mean, the first time I decided I was going to get involved with NFTs was when I read the headline about Beeple doing $69 million.
Okay.
Oh my God, that's crazy because that was like 8 months ago. That was not long ago at all.
I was like, what the fuck is going on? And then I think in the same week I read about the NBA doing $250 million in revenue from
Top Shot.
From Top Shots.
Yeah.
So from my background doing influencer marketing, I had a working relationship and a friendship with Floyd Mayweather. Mm-hmm. So I immediately started brainstorming. How do we get Floyd involved? Floyd is clearly a legend. If the NBA can do $250 million, I'm sure we can do some damage with Floyd. So I put together, a deal where, we got Floyd involved and we did his first NFT project. And that was kind of like a learning curve for me. That was part of the early part of the learning curve for me. Because my assumptions were, if you're famous and you have a large following on social media, it would translate into NFT activations and mints. And, I learned quickly that, there are 4 layers to an NFT project being successful. You need the art, you need the community, keyword community. You need the blockchain side of it, the smart contract and all that good stuff. And then you also need, marketing, right? You need to market what you're selling. And, if all those 4 components aren't in sync, then there's conflict. Like when we did the first Floyd drop, we had issues with the smart contract, right? That wasn't my fault. That wasn't Floyd's fault, right? When we did the second drop, which was more of a generative drop, we had issues with community, right? So, all this was just all, it was like a new slate. You had to relearn things that you learned in Web 2 when it came to Web 3. So a lot of those skill sets did help me, but I would say that I had to relearn a lot of things.
Mm-hmm. And that's dope.
I mean, I wasn't the guy on Discord. I wasn't the guy on Discord. You know what I'm saying? Till today, I'm not comfortable with Discord. I didn't have a Twitter account. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't know any Web3 developers, so we went with what we had. And You know, so it was
so
like
if you didn't have any of these socials back then, how were you doing your networking? How were you, you know, meeting people? And I know you said Clubhouse, right? But were there any other ways?
You know, the first thing we did when we did the Floyd Mayweather generative drop was we leveraged an existing community. So what we did was we actually went out there and looked for a community that already had people that had bought NFTs, knew what a MetaMask was and all that good stuff, right? So we basically connected with this community called Bulls on the Block, and that was the leverage that helped us accelerate that, right? And yeah, I was networking. I was networking with people on Clubhouse. You know, I was like a fly on the wall, just soaking up knowledge, man. You know, I became very curious about it, and then I started asking people what NFT should I buy, and you know, people that I felt had the knowledge. Some of them just gave me bullshit advice, and some of them gave me solid advice. And when we sold out the Floyd drop, people started reaching out to me to advise them on projects, and that's how I started becoming an advisor. And just, you know, applying some of the mistakes that I made so that they could avoid them. Yeah. And then I just got better and better, and I'm still learning.
No, that's dope, bro. So like, and one thing I wanted to ask too is, so in the midst of all of this, and when you actually buy your Bored Ape, do you buy it fully with the intent? You know exactly what you can do with that IP. So like when you buy your Bored Ape, are you already thinking of how you're going to extend that brand to further brands or NFT drops? Or is this something that comes along the line, and now when you're looking at the space at large, you're like, oh, this is something that I'm capable of, this is what I'm able to do, so I might as well do it? Because, and then from there, I do want you to just segue into the Rich Apes drop and definitely let people know exactly what the Rich Apes collection is as well, and the Smoking Apes, how they're examples of derivatives of that Bored Ape project, but you have the rights to do that. So now you're literally capitalizing and taking advantage of the utility aspects of the NFTs. So could you talk about that process, literally you getting that Bored Ape and realizing, oh, I got this IP to make shit shake?
So when I bought the Bored Apes, I think I bought them on June. I can't remember the specific date. Maybe June 1st last year was when I bought the first one. My intent was solely to flip it. Like, this was a big deal for me. Spending $6,000 for a JPEG was kind of like, you know, it was kind of like extreme, right? And so I'm thinking, okay,
now you be dropping that 6K every other day.
Yeah,
you be dropping that 6K every other day on the joint.
Something you never done.
I wish
before.
I would have found the money. But yeah, when I spent that $6,000 for the first Bored Ape, my intention was, man, if I can just sell this thing for $10,000, $12,000, I came up, I doubled up, right? And I'd heard about the utilities, but I didn't see anyone applying that. I didn't see no one out there taking full advantage of the commercial rights, right? At that time, I saw people making like one-on-one derivatives on some show-off type shit. Like, look at what I made, I made this for you type of thing. I never saw anyone apply that on a commercial level. And so I just never really thought much about it. But, because I was very transparent about my journey, I remember the first time I put up a survey and I was like, I just spent $12,000 on these monkeys. Y'all think I'm a visionary or y'all think I'm crazy? And I promise you 97% of the feedback was, you're crazy. I started thinking I was fucking crazy.
Hell, no bullshit. No bullshit. That's how I feel.
Yeah. So bottom line was, my intent was to flip them. And when it got to the point where I reached the point where I could flip them, I was sort of like emotionally connected to them. I just felt like, man, this didn't feel right to sell them. I was like, yo, this stuff is, and at that time I was already embedded in the community. I was reading up about what the value of
I'm about to say, I'm sure the value was still rising.
Right.
It's like, it's worth keeping. You know what I'm saying? It's just getting more and more valuable every
day. What do
day.
I have to lose? Exactly. Like, what do I have to lose? So then what happened was it came out with the mutant apes. I remember when that happened, when they were like, I just read a text. It was a tweet from Yuga Labs said, fuck it, mutant this weekend. Serum this weekend or some shit like that. And I was like, what is that?
Serum.
And it flew from like 20 ETH to like, I think it was like 30 ETH in one weekend. But prior to that, I convinced a friend of mine to buy a Bored Ape at 4 ETH. And his name is Zuby. And I was like, Zuby, you got to get in. I spent 4 days convincing him to buy a Bored Ape. So he bought one and he sold it at 9 ETH, went to Miami, rented a yacht, made $16,000 in profit. And I remember feeling like, man, am I being dumb? Why don't I just take the money and run?
Right,
Like,
right.
why am I still holding on to this?
You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? Like Zuby regrets that till today. That's probably the worst mistake he ever made. But cut the long story short, you know, I kept the bored apes. I got the mutant apes. I was lucky enough. I got an M2 serum and an M3. And you know what I mean? Like, no, M2 and an M1, excuse me.
I was like M3. Oh, you got the legendary status. Hold up.
I got an M1 and an M2, excuse me.
Okay.
It's been a while. So cut the long story short, I saw the value of the utilities, right? And, you know, financially at least, right? And I got a lot of clout from owning bored apes, not just one, but two. So I didn't want to lose that status. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, it made you look kind of like, oh, you saw something coming, when really all I did was take a chance. And, you know, a friend of mine, I've never met this guy till today. Just like I've never met Brooke or whatever. I met a lot of people online that I've never met in person, and we built real friendships. His name is Humble Living Art Projects. He's out of Connecticut. He would always send me, you know, NFTs that he made for me. Like some of them will be my picture. And one day he made one of my ape, and I was like, you know what? This is ugly, bro. What are you doing? So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna help you with the art direction. Why don't you do this and do that? And I was like, okay, bet. How many of this can you make for me in 3 days? True story. And he was like, how many do you need? I was like, can you make me 100? He goes, give me 5 days. I was like, you know what? We're going live tomorrow. At the moment you make it, we're going live. And I hit up Brooke. True story. Brooke is right there. And I was like, Brooke, I need a website. I'm going live today. I didn't have no Discord.
Same day.
I didn't have a Twitter. I didn't give a fuck. I was like, what do I have to lose? I own the IP. I can do this, right? Let's have fun. So we had the art. You know, I worked out a payment with him. I paid Brooke for the website, and I put it on Rarible. I minted it myself. And Rarible started having glitches. People couldn't mint. And I promise you, I sold 86 smoking apes. At the pre-sale, it was 0.2. Hand to hand. I mean, people had to send me the Ethereum. Then I had to send them the apes. And bro, that's when I knew it was real. I sold out the 100. I was number one on Rarible for the sales first. And I did the public sale at 0.3, sold another 435. This was like a month or two ago, right? Like 60 days ago. And did about $450,000 in revenue. Spent $0 in marketing. And part of the roadmap was you guys are going to get a free NFT called the Rich Apes, because I had the domain name. So I found another artist to make the Rich Apes, another derivative. And right now we sold about 1,550 out of 4,444. All organic. Made over $250,000 in revenue.
Talking about that sweepstakes too, man. A little 2 ETH reward.
So the marketing strategy behind the Rich Apes is, you know, NFTs have made me a lot of money and I wanted to give back. So in the collection, there are 50 gold apes. And if you mint some of them, not all of them, we're paying people as much as 2 ETH as an instant reward. We've paid out 4 of them. There's still 6 left. So if you mint one of the gold ones that we're looking for, you keep the ape, you keep all the benefits. The gold apes, all of them come with access to a community called Goldfinger. They give you a $2,000 membership for free because you have a gold ape. And you know, if you have the right one, you get 2 Ethereum. And then we added another 24 that are left in the collection where you get 0.25 Ethereum instantly. So we just wanted to make it fun for people, reward people for taking action. This is not one of those drops that I intend to sell out immediately, because it's really a tool to onboard new people in the space. And the utilities are phenomenal. Like, we have weekly crypto classes. You know, we not just NFT classes. We're teaching people about yield farming, staking. Tonight we have a class with a CPA talking about how to set up your structure, your business structure. And, you know, we've had people teach us how to leverage NFTs, like borrow against your portfolio, to buy more NFTs. So for me, I feel like if you provide good value, in no time we're going to sell that out. You know, I'm kind of bothered we haven't sold it out, but I'm not tripping, bro. It's a marathon, you know?
Hell yeah.
Facts.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Nah, that's facts. So I guess what are the most important things when you're counseling some of these celebrities on their NFT drops? And all right, let's rewind a little bit. I know I wanted to pinpoint something that you said when you said you did the first one with Floyd Mayweather, and in that you realized there was some things that you know what I'm saying, kind of had to learn. I want to know what you learned from that and what you kind of realize now that you've done so many, you know what I mean? What are some of the most important things to consider when doing an NFT release so that you can have success with it?
Well, I mean, the most important thing is just being tapped in with the community, right?
Yeah.
So people really don't care if you're a legend like Floyd, if you're influencer.
I was about to say, like, how does a nigga like Floyd or somebody like, you know what I'm saying, Trey Songz or like, how do they have time to be tapped in with like the Discords and all that type of shit? Like,
so in Floyd's situation, Floyd wasn't involved as much as we expected, and that's understandable. That's Floyd Mayweather, God damn it.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's a legend.
Right.
And a billionaire athlete. So, you know, the assumption that Floyd would come out and hang out in the Discord was unrealistic in the first place, right?
Right.
But I think now Floyd himself understands that this stuff is here to stay. When we did the Trey Songz drop, it was done through Binance, and that was done overseas. Like no one in the US could actually access that NFT. So that was a different scenario. Binance did all the marketing, and you know, part of the way the NFT was structured was, you know, there's some experiences, a handful of people get to have access to Trey. And so generally speaking, bro, I try to stay away from celebrity drops. I try to use celebrities as part of the community, not just doing an NFT centered around an individual. It really isn't Web 3.0 friendly to do it that way. I think people want to be in Web 3. There's a mantra which is community over anybody. Like no one really gives a fuck about who you are.
That's really interesting because I feel like early on, that's something that me and you had talked about. We had noticed. I remember when The Weeknd had that drop
100%.
on Nifty Gateway, and we kind of just were like, not that we're huge fans of The Weeknd, but we were like, oh, like this should blow up because it's The Weeknd.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It did not.
It was definitely.
I think it was ASAP Rocky or Travis Scott or one of them like, had another joint, and it was like, oh, this should go up just because of who it is, and it did not. You know what I'm saying?
I was definitely going to say it was definitely through Nifty Gateway drops. And I ain't gonna lie, like Nifty Gateway was the platform that I seen literally was in the lead and literally tricked off their lead because they just saturated it over and over. Celebrity drop. Meanwhile, if you tapped into the community and you actually look at the art that's actually coming from a lot of these artists, like, yo, this shit's actually way better. And what people actually did in the community is like, yo, let's just put that shit on the pedestal. Let's put that on the platform because y'all already got this clout in this Web 2 space. So like, and then when it came over to here, it's like, yo, everybody would just see the type of time that people were putting in these spaces and like, yo, I don't see you guys here. You guys just come here when you got an NFT drop. So I could definitely see how like that sentiment started to just build from there. But yo, bro, I definitely wanted to touch on this ape coin, yo. This shit kind of crazy. I want to know how you, and overall too, because I know you came into the Clone X on the back end when they revealed, and then you got that box drop and all these. How you feel about all these drops that these projects are just giving? They like, yo, you don't gotta go nowhere. You don't gotta sell nothing. We got you. We gonna give you this bread. Just hold that NFT. We gonna throw you this money. Like, how you feel about this shit? Because I think this shit is fucking nuts. Think this shit. You niggas getting airdropped whole homes in a night. You feel me? So like, how you feeling about this ApeCoin, man?
Well, I just looked it up right now. I just got $333,600 for free. You know what I mean? like that's what my wallet is looking like right now. So how do you think I feel about it? I mean, I feel really good about it. I feel like it's the power of Web 3.0. It's a two-way thing. It's, you know, not only is ApeCoin the value going up, but the community is going to reward them for taking care of the community for sure. I mean, look at what Nike did with Artifact Studios. They bought Artifact Studios. They came out with an airdrop for Clone X holders, and you know they've made about $4.7 million in royalties from that. So the point is, you know, this is a trend that's going to keep happening. ApeCoin just took it to a different level, brother. Like they got I mean, I'm talking about. I have 2 Bored Apes and a Mutant Ape, so I was able to claim. Was it 22,240 ape coins? Right now, the price is $15. It's over $333,000. Real money that I can liquidate right now.
Right.
For me, that's a lot of fucking bread. That's a third of a milli. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's life changing money for a lot of people, and it's a testimony to how amazing Web 3.0 is. And I think that ApeCoin, with the roadmap and the utilities that they have laid out, virtual land and games, and just overall being the coin for the ecosystem for BAYC, will now also own CryptoPunks and MeBits, and and coming out with other projects. Obviously, I think that this is going to be a blue chip. It's already, like, as of yesterday, it was number 49 on CoinMarketCap in terms of valuation. Yeah, market cap valuation. So I mean, for a coin on day one to be number 49,
that's crazy.
With a company that's less than a year old, the sky's the limit, bro.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. It's exciting things, man.
This is exciting.
100%, bro. We live in history. We in the midst
of it, bro.
I always tell people this is the largest transfer of wealth that we'll definitely experience in our lifetime. Maybe more will come, but for now, if you're not getting these airdrops, if you're not, making NFT money, it's really a symptom of you not positioning yourself right. You know what I mean? And that comes from you dismissing the opportunity, like, oh, this is some nerd stuff, or I don't want. I'm too stupid. People tell themselves this in their own head. I'm too stupid to understand what's going on. Well, I'll tell you, that's a lie. Because if you're smart enough to be able to access this content on YouTube, you're smart enough to be able to go on Instagram and send a DM, you can mint an NFC. You can buy an NFC.
100%.
You just need to get over your own head and get involved. You got to be comfortable being uncomfortable. I mean, everything has a learning curve. And I feel like this is life-changing science, man. Like, we've never seen a technology that we benefited from instantly like this before.
100%.
Bro, you're speaking like straight facts. Like, nah, you're right, bro. It's something you just got to get into. And everything has that kind of like uncomfortable moment where you just don't get it. You just got to stick with it. Well, I guess that kind of begs another question for you. Like, do you feel like you're still learning in this space? Do you feel like you got it under control? Like, do you feel like how long of a time were you going through that confusion phase?
Man, I'm still learning every day, bro. I had to call somebody yesterday, like, how do I claim my ape coin?
Right.
I claimed it. It's not in my MetaMask. Oh, you got to import the smart. Bro, I'm learning every day. I'm an older guy. I'm not like some 20-year-old guy out here. Like, but to me, a lot of this stuff is foreign to me. So, but I'm shit. One thing about Web 3.0 is they can't ban me. I'm here. You know what I'm saying?
Time to eat.
I'm working on so many other things that I need technical assistance on. Like, I own the domain name Afrobeat.io. We're trying to create a music marketplace for the Afrobeat genre, which is probably the #1 type of music being released right now. And I can't do that by myself. I'm learning, in my community, we have about 2,200 people in the Discord. I have people helping me. I have community managers. I have, that's the beautiful thing about the community aspect of it is now you have the proximity of being around like-minded people with different knowledge levels. And, you can ask questions without feeling like people are judging you. You know what I mean? So, that's the cool thing about this space is, you don't have to know it all. No one knows it all. Everyone is still learning. The Bored Apes are still learning.
100%, bro. Nah, that's the life mentality to have for sure, man. For sure.
I mean, no one is a know-it-all. Anyone who knows it all should be a billionaire by now. And I don't know too many billionaires yet from NFTs.
So a lot of niggas capping. A lot of capping there.
Yeah, it's a lot of guys like to show off their technical knowledge and, nerd flex.
Yeah.
Well, we see
too
like
hip to it.
Nerd
flex. It's gonna be interesting to see how this space continues to progress. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, don't want to take up too much of your time, bro. Appreciate
Yeah, my
you,
man tapped in
coming on.
early, LA,
Yeah,
man,
bro, straight
6:07
up. Yeah, it's
a.m.
like 6
I know a lot
o'clock
of y'all
over there.
still sleep on the
So that
West
means
Coast.
you've been up since like 5 because we've been
Right.
on here for like an
No,
hour.
Hey,
dead
listen,
ass,
You know what I'm
man,
saying?
crypto
So
don't
definitely
sleep,
appreciate
man.
your time,
Crypto
bro.
don't
Yeah,
sleep.
hey, bro, anything you like, can you tell the people where they could follow you, what they should be tapped into in terms of the projects and all that, man?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I'm Ishmaeli on all the social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram. But I really feel like every single person who watches this should definitely join the Rich Apes community. That's
Okay.
Rich Apes Club. It's not a shill. It's just a fact. It's real value. If we look at what the Bored Apes did, I feel like they set a template that we can replicate. And I'm gonna say it on record, man. They're not cooler than us, right?
Hey.
They're not cooler than us. They might be technically smarter, but we can copy, reverse engineer every technical thing they've done because it's on the blockchain. So my vision is to build a community where we get richer together with knowledge and applying knowledge. And we're already on our way. We're gonna run those laps. Right now we're still community building. We would love to sell out every single Rich Ape out there. There's only 4,444 in the collection. They look better than the Bored Apes and the derivatives of Bored Apes, And I feel like we give more value than any NFC project out there. The fact that we have weekly classes, we've done 2 live events in Miami. We're going to keep doing more. I'm thinking about putting together some type of virtual conference just to give it more pump and more utility. And I'm just not going to stop, bro. Like, I'm going to still be here. I plan on making billions in this space. I know you guys are doing the same. And I feel like, we're very, very, very early. We're still in roll call, bro. And
100%. Hey, bro, I was gonna say too. So you're gonna be down there, NFT Miami, and the Bitcoin events and all that. I should be down there. I was gonna see if you're gonna be down there.
I'm speaking at NFC Miami.
Okay, lit.
So I was fortunate enough to be listed as a speaker. And in October, I'm going to be organizing my own NFC conference called the NFTconference.com.
Yep. Remember that? Yep.
So yeah, we're here, man. Like, this is what I'm married to this game, man.
Yeah,
get it, bro.
Let's go. Yeah. So wait, one last time, because I definitely need to check those Rich Apes out. It's richapes.io.
It's richapes.club, but richapes.io should get you there as well.
Richapes.club.
Yeah, man, how to do that site. You know how to touch up that site, get it a little right.
Yeah. I'm definitely gonna see what those Rich Apes is talk about, bro.
Hey, bro, you might get a gold joint. Yeah, get the Tui real quick. Get a Tui for breakfast. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Again, bro, like, really appreciate you coming through, bro. And definitely hope to see you out there in Bitcoin Miami. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Have another conversation.
Miami's my second home, man.
It's lit.
Yeah, he really be out there. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, bro.
Right,
yeah, appreciate you, bro. We're gonna tap in. Peace, bro.
Have a good one. All right, brother.
Yo, that was Ishmaeli, yo.
Man. That was a great conversation.
Yeah,
too.
man.
A lot of insight, bro.
Tap into that link,
like
y'all.
that,
tap into that link when that shit drop after the show.
Yeah,
y'all.
for sure. Get a goldie. Yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah, it's 0.07 mint.
Yeah.
Could get to eat though.
Yeah, let's get it. Yeah, man. I love this episode.
Yeah,
great episode.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
trying to
saying?
tell you, bro. Sometimes it's like, because again, I love that Ishmaeli came onto the show, because a lot of people feel as if they have to be some Web3 wizard, or just like, yo, bro, we're technically advanced and shit like that. And it's like, no, bro. If you're trying to make some shit shake, if you are somebody that likes to look for opportunities for yourself, then you may find it within this space, and you might find that it's like something that actually appeals to what it is that you actually want to do. Yeah. And that's why I more so speak to the content creators and the community builders, but even for the speculators as well, man, make sure you dive into something before you have an opinion on it, because it might be something that could, like, really elevate you in whatever way you're trying to be elevated.
And honestly, in ways that you couldn't even like fathom.
100%.
Like, nobody could have
airdrop, bro. Come on, bro.
Mutant apes, and then ape coins, and then all these like extra. You know what I'm saying? Like, no one could have even imagined that.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
It's very interesting. Like we always say, like, it's a space that rewards you for being in it. You know what I mean?
100%.
So that's very dope. But yeah, man, nice long week, not long weekend, but a nice weekend ahead of us. That you know what I'm saying? Looking forward to just chilling. You got anything special going on there?
Nah, man. Actually, about to hit up my boy. He actually just Shout out my boy Evan Catratis. He just made his own batch of wine.
Oh,
I just
word.
seen the bottle and it looks fire.
Yeah.
And he was actually hitting me today. Want to see if I wanted to stop by and try some.
Yeah.
So about to try something.
What kind of wine is it, do you know? Like a red, like a white?
It's a red.
Okay.
It's Sauvignon.
Sauvignon? That's my shit. That's my go-to.
Yeah.
Literally, that's my go-to.
Yeah.
Love a Cabernet Sauvignon.
Yeah, man. And they got some Greece type of like artistic attributes.
Yeah.
The label of it, because he's Greek. So it looks fire. About to see what's good with that.
Little wine tasting.
Yeah, man. About to tap in. I got another meeting today.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be good. Definitely doing a lot of
for sure. I think we got some good
people.
weather coming this weekend too.
Man,
so yeah,
sure.
definitely looking forward to it, man. But I guess we'll see y'all next week. You know what I'm saying?
Real early episode.
Until then,
64.
everybody have a good weekend and a good week ahead. We'll see y'all on Friday
early
at 8 o'clock.
Early.